Los Angeles is experiencing one of the greatest disasters in its history. Wildfires have been raging for weeks, spreading rapidly due to strong winds. Entire neighborhoods have turned to ash, leaving thousands displaced and hundreds of families homeless. These fires are destroying not just homes but also the hopes and dreams of those who lived there. Watching the news coverage of the tragedy, Meghan Markle took a deep breath as images of frightened, evacuated children filled the screen. She was visibly moved by what she saw. From the adjacent room where Prince Harry was working, she called out to him. "Harry, we have to help these people. We need to do something right now." Harry set his phone aside and walked over to her. "What exactly are you thinking?" he asked. Meghan replied with determination. "We can open our home to them. These people need more than just a shelter. They need a safe place, food, clothing, whatever we can provide." Harry paused for a moment before nodding firmly. "You're right. Let's contact Archwell immediately. We'll prepare our home to welcome them." By late afternoon, as the golden hues of the setting sun bathed Meghan and Harry's garden, the first family arrived. A mother stepped out of the car with her 12-year-old daughter and 8-year-old son. Exhausted but resolute, she held her children close. Meghan greeted them at the door with a warm smile. Kneeling to the boy's eye level, she spoke gently. "What's your name, sweetheart?" The boy hesitated, then looked up and whispered, "My name is Oliver." Meghan smiled, taking his small hand in hers. "Oliver, this is your home now. You're safe here." The mother, holding back tears, turned to Meghan. "My husband. He died in the fire. All I have left are my children and this little suitcase. We didn't know where else to go." Meghan gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone anymore. Everything you need is here." When the children stepped inside, the comforting aroma of warm food welcomed them. A table set with hot soup, fresh bread, and desserts awaited. Harry handed them a box of toys, saying, "These are for you." As Oliver opened the box and found a toy truck, his eyes lit up for the first time. "Is this really mine?" he asked. "Of course," Harry replied with a smile. "You're home now." Later that evening, another car pulled up the driveway. Out stepped an elderly woman and her granddaughter, Ellie. Ellie's large, anxious eyes darted around nervously. Ruth approached Meghan with a trembling voice. "My name is Ruth, and this is my granddaughter, Ellie. We lost our home in the fire. She hasn't spoken to anyone since." Meghan knelt down to Ellie's level, speaking softly. "Hi, Ellie. You're safe here. We're here to help you." Ellie glanced at Meghan briefly before lowering her gaze again. Meghan invited them inside, trying to ease the tension. "Come on in. Let's find something you might like." As Ruth tried to coax Ellie to speak, she quietly added to Meghan, "Ellie's father was a firefighter. He died in the line of duty, trying to save others. Her mother is a doctor, helping the injured at an evacuation center. Ellie feels like she's lost both of them." Meghan's eyes filled with tears as she absorbed Ruth's words. She turned to Ellie and said gently, "Your mom loves you so much, Ellie. And your dad? He was a hero. You're as brave as he was." Ellie gave a faint nod before walking over to the piano in the corner. She tentatively pressed a few keys, producing simple notes. Ruth stood quietly, tears streaming down her face as she watched her granddaughter. After dinner, Meghan brought Ellie a blanket and gently draped it over her lap. "This blanket is very special to me," Meghan said. "My mom and I made it together. It always made me feel safe. And now, I want you to have it." Ellie hugged the blanket tightly, her eyes brimming with tears. Though she didn't say a word, her gratitude was palpable. The other families staying in the house each had their own stories. One father spoke tearfully about how he had lost not just his job, but everything he had built over the years. "My wife and kids are safe, and I'm thankful for that. But we've lost everything else. I don't know how to start again," Harry reassured him. "Archwell has programs to help with jobs and training. Everything you need to start over is within reach." Another mother, who had escaped with nothing but her children, tearfully recounted their ordeal. "I saw my kids crying in the rubble and I felt utterly helpless." Meghan responded warmly. "This is your home now. You have everything you need here. And most importantly, you'll never feel alone again." New clothes, school supplies, and toys were provided for the children. Their initial shyness faded as they played with their new toys, their laughter bringing warmth to the house. One mother, overcome with emotion, thanked Meghan. "You didn't just give us a home. You gave us hope." Despite the safety of their home, the fight against the fires continued. Television reports showed new neighborhoods under threat as the winds shifted direction. Watching the news, Meghan turned to Harry. "These fires are still out of control. The people here are lucky to be safe, but so many more need help." Harry nodded. "Let's call for more volunteers through Archewell. We can also send additional supplies to the evacuation centers." That night, Meghan and Harry launched a new campaign to support the affected areas. With Archewell's help, they provided food, clothing, and essential equipment to those in need. The campaign quickly gained traction on social media, inspiring thousands to contribute. Ellie and the other children, despite the destruction they had faced, began to rebuild their lives in Meghan and Harry's home. But the story was far from over. Standing on the veranda, Meghan looked out at the horizon and spoke to Harry. "Every plume of smoke represents a life waiting to be rebuilt. What we've done here is just the beginning. Humanity's hope will never burn out." Harry nodded, his voice filled with determination. "We'll keep going. We'll make a difference."